गजाननं भूतगणासेवितं कपितजम्बो फलसारभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेष जाड्यापहा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। हरि ओम। वन्दे गणपति विघ्नविनाशन हे लंबोदर गजानना। वन्दे गणपति विघ्नविनाशन हे लंबोदर गजानना। रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता तुम हो, रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता तुम हो। हे शशि शेखर नंदना, हे शशि शेखर नंदना जो ध्यावे वांछित फल पावे, जो ध्यावे वांछित फल पावे, जो ध्यावे वांछित फल पावे, जो ध्यावे अग्रदेव तुम्हें वंदना, अग्रदेव तुम्हें वंदना। वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन, हे लंबोदर गजानना। रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता तुम हो, हे शशि शेखर नंदना। काम क्रोध मद लोभ व्याधि हरो, काम क्रोध मद लोभ व्याधि हरो, काम क्रोध निर्विकार निर्मल मना। निर्विकार निर्मल मना। निर्विकार वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन, हे लंबोदर गजानना। वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन, हे लंबोदर गजानना। रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता तुम हो, रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता तुम हो। हे शशि शेखर नंदना। हे शशि शेखर नंदना। जय जय गणपति गजानना, जय जय गणपति गजानना। जय लंबोदर गजानना, जय लंबोदर गजानना, जय जय गणपति गजानना, जय लंबोदर गजानना, जय जय गणपति गजानना, जय लंबोदर गजानना, जय जय गणपति गजानना, जय लंबोदर गजानना, जय लंबोदर गजानना, जय जय गणपति गजानना, जय जय गणपति गजानना, जय लंबोदर गजानना, जय लंबोदर गजानना, जय लंबोदर गजानना। बोले गजानन स्वामी महाराज की जय। शारदे शारदे हंसवाहिनी शारदे, शारदे शारदे हंसवाहिनी शारदे, शारदे शारदे वाग्विलासिनी शारदे, शारदे शारदे वाग्विलासिनी शारदे, शारदे शारदे हंसवाहिनी शारदे, शारदे शारदे हंसवाहिनी शारदे, शंकर पूजित शारदे संतन वंदित शारदे, शंकर पूजित शारदे संतन वंदित शारदे, वीणा पानी शारदे विद्यादायिनी शारदे, वीणा पानी शारदे विद्यादायिनी शारदे, शारदे शारदे हंसवाहिनी शारदे, शारदे शारदे हंसवाहिनी शारदे, वाग्विलासिनी शारदे, शंकर पूजित शारदे संतन वंदित शारदे, वीणा पानी शारदे विद्यादायिनी शारदे, विद्यादायिनी शारदे। सरस्वती माता की जय। वर्णानामर्थसंघानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारौ वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम् नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसीरघुनाथ गाथा भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति हरि ओम्। Okay, very special Hari Om and welcome to all members of Chinmay Mission Peoria and to all of those who are listening from other places as well. If you are joining us tonight for the first time, in this yajna we are seeing Shri Ramcharitamanas of Goswami Tulsidas Ji. Ramcharitamanas ehi nama, Tulsidas Ji writes. Shravana Sunat Pai Abhishrama. Anybody who listens to this, he gains supreme peace. And in this Ramcharitamanas, there are 7 kandas. We are seeing the 3rd kanda, it's called as Aranya Kanda. And in the Aranya Kanda also, there's a very small little portion, tiny portion, called as Rama Gita. Lakshmana asks 5 questions to Bhagavan Shri Ram. And Bhagavan Shri Ram is replying. And now we saw, so far, he has replied to 4 of those 5 questions already. Kahu Gyan Birag Rumaya, Kahu Bhagati, and Ishvara Jiva Bhed. These are the 5 questions. Gyan, knowledge. Birag, Vairagya, dispassion. Maya. Maya is Maya, no translation for that. Bhakti means devotion. And last, the difference between Jiva and Ishvara means the individual and the supreme. What is the difference? Bhagavan dealt with all of those questions, but this number 4 question, which is Bhakti, he left it for last. You know, when you are eating and you have some nice food, you keep it for last, isn't it? Well, it depends on where you grow up. Some people, they eat that best one first also. But we always keep that nice guri. That's a sweet thing. Dessert. Keep it for last. It like that only Bhagavan has kept this bhakti last. And now, before he gets into this bhakti also, he praises bhakti. But he backs up. And then, let me step back a little bit and then praise this bhakti. This is a praise. That praise of bhakti as his introduction to bhakti. This is the idea. So now what is that praise? We'll chant that now after number 15 in this Aranya Kanda. After 15, we'll chant there. Just to pick up from where we left it last night. Dharmate berati jogate dhyana Jnana moksha prad ved bakhana जाते बेगी द्रवऊ में भाई सो मम भगति भगत सुखदाई सो सुतंत्र अवलंबन आना तेहि आधीन ज्ञान विज्ञान भगति तात अनु पम सुख मूला। मिले ही जो संत होई अनुकूला। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। भगति की साधन कहु बखानी। सुगम पंथ मोहि पावहि प्राणी। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। धर्मते बिरति, this is now prashamsa, praise of this bhakti. Dharmate birati is introduction before he gets into bhakti. So then 2.5 chaupais are given, Bhagavan gives. That is plenty in Ram Gita. Because Gyan is half a chaupai. Vairagya half a chaupai. So just the praise of bhakti, 2.5 chaupais. This is to tell how important bhakti is for Bhagavan Shri Ram. You see? So he says in the first phrase, from dharma comes vairagya. And we know from our study of Vedanta, from viveka comes vairagya. Not from dharma. We have never heard this thing. You see? So last night, I started to trace this. How from dharma comes vairagya. I started telling you this. Now let us see this. What I told, we have had countless births. Step by step we go now. Please pay attention to all of these things. Shastric teaching is, we have all had countless births. You know, Bhagavad Gita, this is the teaching. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani, tavacha Arjuna. I have had countless births and so have you, my dear Arjuna. Tani ham veta sarvani, I know all my births. Natvam veta parantapa, you don't know your births. There is the difference between. And that's why just now he said, no, the Jiva, Arjuna, he is Ajnani. Maya is an apu kahu, jan kahiya so jeev. He doesn't know anything about anything. But Bhagavan is omniscient, sarvagnya, so he knows. So, like that he's telling to Arjuna in the 4th chapter. Now, see, we have had countless births. This is first point. Second point. If we have had countless births, and in one birth, how many karmas we do? Oh, Bapre. How many karmas we engage in? Countless karmas. And when we perform some karma, it goes into our sanchita karma or not? Storehouse. of karma. So if we have had countless births and we have done countless karmas, so in our sanchita karma, how many karmas are there? Countless multiplied by countless is how much? Well, infinite multiplied by infinite is infinite number of karmas, you see. That means what? See all of this very, very logical things of Shastras. Huh? So in my Sanchita karma, I have done countless, means every possible karma. That means what? See, some karmas are called as dharmic karmas, some karmas are adharmic karmas. Correct or not? Or in smaller words, some karmas are called as good karmas and some karmas are called as bad karmas. But we have done all. And I told now, here is the connection for satsanga. So I've done all different type of karmas. In my Sanchita karma, I have a storehouse of all karmas. But in this Ramcharitamanas of Goswami Tulsidas Ji, one of the very strong recurring theme from beginning to end, from Balkand to Uttarkand, is this thing called as satsang. And what does it do? See here. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Binu satsang विवेक न होई, राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई, श्री राम राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई, श्री राम जय राम। बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई, राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई, श्री राम जय राम। जय जय Ram, Syamar Ramachandra ki jai. In a very famous verse, and in so many verses in Balkand, Tulsidas she speaks about satsang. And what is the most important phrase there, you know? Binu satsanga vivek na hui. The discriminative faculty will never become awakened without satsanga. Means without the sangha, the association with noble people, noble souls, and a noble environment. Without that type of satsanga, and this thing is demonstrated everywhere in Ramayana. Hanumanji goes to Lanka, and Vibhishan has very clearly demonstrated his love for Bhagwan Sri Ram. He's put Rama Ankit on his door. The bow and arrow of Bhagwan Sri Ram is stuck on his door. And he has a mandir in front of his house, a little tulsi plant and everything in front of his house. Vibhishan. But he claims to be a devotee of Bhagwan Sri Ram. But not one day did he raise one finger to do any seva for Sita ji, or to help Bhagwan Sri Ram find Sita ji, or to bring some comfort to. She is there, imprisoned in Lanka. But Vibhishan, claiming to be a devotee of Bhagwan Ram, does nothing for the Lord. And Hanumanji comes, and one moment of satsang. Even Lankini praises his moment of satsang. One moment of satsang with Vibhishan, and he gets up now and he marches into the court of Ravan and tells him very boldly, what you have done is wrong. You should give back Sita ji now. But just only after satsang took place. Without that satsang, he was just sitting there, claiming to be a devotee, you see. Like that, throughout the Ramayana, the power and greatness of satsang is demonstrated. But here in this verse, Tulsidaji says, Binu satsanga vivek na hoi. Without satsang, discriminative faculty will not be awakened. Now, since I have done all sorts of karmas, good and bad, good and evil karmas, and they are all there in my storehouse, if I find myself in the company of good people, in good company, and good environment, what will happen? All of those karmas, good karmas which I have done, all of them will come to the forefront. They will be awakened. All sanskar which I have collected, all the sanskar which I have impressed upon my mind through all of those good karmas in past lives, they all become awakened in satsang. And in kusang, see, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram. साधु असाधु सदन सुख सारी, सुमेरहि राम देहि गण गाई। श्री राम जय राम। जय जय राम, बोलो राम राम राम, सीता राम 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 बोलो। बोलो राम राम राम, सीता राम 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 बोलो। राम राम श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। Sadhu asadhu sadana sukasari, sumirahi ram dehi ganigari. We take two parrots. The parrots were born in the same nest. You take two of them and you put one in the house of sadhu, sadhu purush, a good man, and you put one in the house of an evil man. This is then Balkand, Tulsidashi is telling. So you put two parrots like this. They came from the same nest. And after some time you go back and you find the parrot in the house of the sadhu, Sumirahi Ram. He will chant the name of Ram. And the parrot in the house of that wicked man, Dehi Gani Gari. He will give gali. Gali means curse. How? Because in satsang, all the good sanskars which have been imbibed in so many previous lives, in satsang all of them become awakened. And in kusang, all the bad sanskar of so many previous lives, they become awakened. So, satsang has the power of awakening all the great good sanskar that we have acquired in so many previous, means through all our good karmas. They have impressed things upon our mind, and that becomes awakened. That is why it is so important in all our lives and in our children's lives. And please pay attention to this. This is not any simple thing. These are fundamental teachings of Sanatana Dharma. Satsang is such a big thing. Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivan mukti. It starts from satsang only. It is so important that we take care to be in the right environment and keep our families and our children and everybody in the right environment. And right environment means where we are exposed to the right things. That is the idea. Where we are exposed to good things, where we are exposed to divinity. And see today, in today's world, what all our minds become exposed to so many things. So now in that satsang, all Purva Janma Arjita Sanskar, all the sanskars of all the previous lives, they become awakened based on which environment I find myself, or I put myself in. So in satsang, all the good sanskars, they come up now. See how connection we are making. In when I find myself in satsang, and all these good sanskars of previous births, they come up, they rise up, they become awakened in me. And then what? I engage myself in dharma. And all dharma is given, Bhagwan himself says, Ved Bakhana. Ved Bakhana. All these are given in Vedas. Now what is in Vedas? Two types of dharma is given there. One is called a pravritti dharma and the other is called a nivritti dharma. So what happens? Pravritti dharma is what we do on a daily basis. We follow all the rules of dharma, and I take care of my family, I do my duty, I give in charity, I make some contribution to the world in which I live, I all protect the environment, I make positive efforts to do all of these things. And there's Varna Ashrama Dharma, all of this is called as Pravritti Dharma. Means I belong to a certain caste, so I do the work of that caste, or I belong to a certain stage in my life. Now I am a student, I do the work of a student. Now I am a householder, I do the work of a householder, or whatever, right? Like that. So Varna Ashrama Dharma and all of these things. So they call us Pravritti Dharma. But Nivritti Dharma is now advanced Dharma. What? I do nothing of any such thing. I only dedicate my life solely to Bhagwan. Only to doing Nishkama Karma. Working for the... See, Bhagwan is telling Arjuna, Lokasangraha me vapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. My dear Arjuna, look towards the benefit of humanity and work for the world. So, my duty, and I will get this, and I will do this yajna, and I will get the benefit, and I will go to Swarga, and this and that, all of these things, that is all gone. I am only doing selfless karma. This is called a nivritti dharma. So, in satsang, all the good sanskars become awakened, and I find myself now engaged, whether it is pravritti dharma or the advanced stage of dharma, which is called nivritti dharma. I find myself now along that stage. Now see, if I am doing my duty, I engage myself in my duty, I am very conscious and conscientious about fulfilling my duties and making my contribution to society and protecting the environment and doing so many type of dharmic things, right? Righteous things. That will lead to dispassion or not. Means I am concerned about the environment. So, right, people now who are concerned about the environment, quickly we give up many things, isn't it? So many people now when they go to the supermarket, they carry their own bag. So you don't have to buy plastic. Get plastic from there. So what? I pay attention, and there are so many things I renounce. I leave this thing. You see? So many things that we are engaging in that are damaging the environment. We leave them. So slowly like this, when I engage in pravritti dharma, I start developing dispassion, detachment from many things. And if I am concentrating on taking care of my family, I'm concentrating on taking care of the environment, I'm concentrating on taking care of the world and all of this, then I will not be harming that world, and I will not be overindulging, and so many things. Slowly, I develop detachment. And in nivritti dharma, when I only live and do selfless work, that time I renounce even more. I give up even. I have no desire to acquire or get anything in this world. I am only an instrument in the hands of Bhagwan, like that. And the highest stages of this, I even renounce kartritva bhav and bhoktritva bhav also, doership and enjoyership. All of these I renounce. So from dharma, virati will come, total renunciation of even kartritva and bhoktritva. So this is why I started by telling, see, we started very slowly, countless births, countless karmas. So any one of those karmas can be awakened in the personality. And this is why satsang is so important. Because we want to awaken all the good sanskars of previous births. Those good sanskars of previous births will make me engage in all dharmic things. And dharma will slowly, slowly make me renounce all adharma. I renounce all adharma. I graduate in stages of dharma. From pravritti to nivritti dharma, where I live a selfless life, only working as an instrument in the hands of Bhagwan. You see? Total renunciation it leads. Dharma te birati. Now you tell. Jog te jnana. See next word, next phrase. Jog te jnana. From yoga comes jnana. What is yoga? Yoga is given by Patanjali. In Patanjali's Sutra, Patanjali ji gave yoga chitta vritti nirodha. You have heard this? It is a very famous phrase of Yoga Sutras. Chitta vritti nirodha means what? All vrittis of the mind have ceased, stopped. Now you just think. The mind is racing. The mind is running here and there. For what reason? Our mind. See, people ask this question all the time. Swamiji, how to control this mind? Why does the mind... See, especially when you sit to meditate or do japa. Why does the mind run here and there? A very simple answer. Please pay attention to this. The mind runs here and there because that mind is attached to something or the next. Not something, countless things. It is attached to countless things. So the attachment is there. So what the mind needs is detachment. And how detachment comes? Dharma. Dharma te birati. From dharma comes detachment. This detachment, I told you, has stages, where I detach even from the feeling of I am a doer and I am a enjoyer. I detach. I give up dehatma buddhi also. I am this body. So many things are there. And I adopt sarvatma buddhi. So it's a renunciation of dehatma buddhi, that I am this body. It's a false thing, so I renounce it. So renunciation goes higher and higher. When I detach from all things like this, all the vrittis of the mind will cease. So chitta vritti nirodha, they will cease, stop. Then what? I will discover my true nature. So jogte jnana. From yoga comes jnana. See, because the final stage of yoga is chitta vritti nirodha. All vrittis of the mind cease. And because the mind is going on, we saw in previous days, the mind is actually the instrument which causes the apparent fragmentation or the apparent dualization. There is no such word, but dualization of something which is non-dual. So that mind which ceases, but all its vrittis cease, that mind discovers its true nature. That is called jnana. So jogate jnana. Then the next phrase, jnana moksha prada. When that mind discovers its true nature, that jnana results in moksha. That is called as moksha. Jnana moksha prada. Jnana brings moksha. And who says? Bhagavan Sri Ram says, Veda Bakhana. All the Vedas say, Rite jnanat na mukti. Without jnana, no mukti. The Vedas say like that. So, the scriptures, Bhagwan is of course quoting, telling. The Vedas say like that. Then, Jate begi dravau mein bhai, so mama bhagati, bhagat sukadai. Now see, Bhagwan says, in spite of all that, I am saying, but that thing which makes my heart melt very fast. Begi dravau melt very fast. It's not like when you put, if you put steel in front of the fire, nothing. But if you put ghee in front of the fire, you know that jam gaya ghee, a jam gayi ghee. You know the ghee that has frozen up. What is it, frozen? Gone to sleep. So you put that ghee in front of the fire, then pighal jate. I mean, wakes up, melts. So Bhagwan says, that thing which makes my heart melt like that, so mama bhagati, bhagat sukhadai. That is prem, love for me. Mama bhagati. And then bhagata sukhadai. This devotion or love for Bhagwan, he says, it gives joy to the bhakta. And then he continues in the next way, he says, so sutantra, avalamba na ana. It is independent. Bhakti is independent. Meaning what? Jnana is not. Jnana is not independent. See, look here. I'll just give you a simple example. If you want to go and study Jnana in our Vedanta course in Mumbai or here in Trinidad, wherever, right? First thing you have to go to university and get a degree. So this, your study of Jnana, acquisition of Jnana is dependent on that degree. If you did not get a degree, well, no problem. You cannot come here. You see? So this Jnana is dependent on that thing. But if you are going to any place where there is bhakti, where there is devotion, so what is the qualification? No qualification. Anybody can go. Easy thing. So sutantra, it is independent. This bhakti, for devotion, independent. Avalambana ana, it depends on nothing else. Jnana is dependent on so many things. And in different periods of history, dependencies are more. So you have to be at one point of the correct caste, at another point of the correct gender, all sorts of things. So it's dependent like that. And for Jnana, you have to develop all these Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Shatka, Sampatti. If you don't develop, then what? Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, not possible. So now, what are the qualifications for bhakti? But actually, for bhakti, the qualification, the worse off you are, the better. Because it is the person who is really, that's why this Rama in every way. Bhagwan Ram is called as Ati Deena Dayalu. You see? Ati Deena. Komala Chit Ati Deena Dayalu. Karana Binu Raghunatha Kripalu. He is the one who is Komal Chit, means of soft, tender heart. And then what? Ati Deena Dayalu means compassionate to the most helpless. So the more destitute I am, the better the qualification. Because that is the one Bhagwan Ram pays attention to. Not that I have to have this qualification or that. This bhakti is totally independent of all qualifications. So, sutantra, avalambana ana, it depends on nothing. Teya adhina jnana vigyan. In fact, it says, jnana and vigyan, they depend on this bhakti. Jnana vigyan depend on devotion. It means to say, if I don't have devotion, jnana will never sit properly in my mind. And if jnana doesn't sit properly in my mind, vigyan is not possible. That is the idea. What is this Jnana Vijnana? I'll tell you, in our Vedanta, Jnana Vijnana Nashanam, Bhagavan talks in Gita, many times this phrase comes. Jnana and Vijnana, in many places. So what Jnana means, let me tell you two other words to see if it will become easier. I'll tell you in English also. Jnana is of two types. One is called as Paroksha Jnana and the other is called as Aparoksha Jnana. What in English? Mediate knowledge and immediate knowledge. That is more difficult. Let me try to simplify that even. See, Jnana means to know that Brahman is everything. Vijnana means to know I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. Jnana is to know Brahman is all pervasive, everything. But to know that I myself am Brahman, not intellectually, to really realize that is called as Vijnana. But he says this thing is dependent on bhakti. How this thing? See this, To know Brahman and to know I am Brahman, there are two things. And the first one precedes. I must first know Brahman. Then only I can know that I am Brahman. But to know Brahman is not possible without this bhakti, without devotion. It means the knowledge of Brahman will not stay in my mind. It will not stay in the mind of a person who is lacking in a bhakti rahit, devoid of bhakti. So what will stay in his mind, Only intellectual jargon. Intellectual jargon only will stay there. And as soon as it comes in this air, it will just go out. Bhakti is that thing which keeps it. You know why? Shraddhate iti Shraddha, because Shraddha is an integral part of bhakti. And that Shraddha keeps that knowledge in that person's mind, doesn't go. And then he is able to dwell on it. Because if he doesn't retain it, he cannot dwell on anything. What you will dwell on if you don't have nothing? But hey, if you have nothing in your mind, what you will dwell on? Shraddha is an integral part of bhakti, and that Shraddha and that devotion keeps that knowledge, and he is able to dwell on that knowledge to make that knowledge aparoksha. He is able to dwell on that paroksha jnana to make it aparoksha. So jnana and vijnana also now dependent on this bhakti. But bhakti dependent on jnana and vijnana? No. Avalamba na ana. No support. No, it doesn't depend on anything. Bhagati tat anupama sukhamula. Again and again, so bhagata sukhadai. Yeah, anupama sukhamula. In Sundarkand, there's a very nice verse. When Hanumanji relates the story of Ram, Sitaji, who is there, imprisoned, Sitaji, who is not eating, whose body has become lean, who never raised her head to look up, was looking down only. Tulsidas describes. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Ramchandra Guna Barane Laga. सुनत ही सीता कर दुख भागा। रामचंद्र गुण भरने लागा। सुनत ही सीता कर दुख भागा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। Sita ji in such a state of sorrow in Lanka, and Hanumanji relates all the gunas and glories and the love of Bhagwan Sri Ram and his compassion and all such gunas of Bhagwan Ram. And when Sita ji heard this, it awakened in her heart that devotion for Bhagwan Ram. And she to Sita says, Kar dukh bhaga. All her sorrows went away, scampered away. Bhagati anupama sukha mula. It is the very root of devotion. Bhagata sukhadai. It gives joy to the bhakta. And the result of bhakti is not later, See, result of gyan? Well, first you go there and you study Tattva Bodh. Then what you get? Nothing. No result is there, isn't it? You study Tattva Bodh. Atma kaha. What is Atma? Then Viveka kaha. Vairagya kaha. Shraddha ka. One by one you study. And what you get? Some more confusion. And after you study all of these things, then you go and you do some Shravanam. Shravanam, the teacher will tell what? Tattvamasi. Oh, Tattvamasi. Then you use Jahala Jahal Lakshana to establish what is Tattvamasi Mahavakya. And as you go along, more and more confusion. And the result, and then we die. Because I did not get mukti in this jnana and all. Bechara mar gaye. Ud gaye Hans. Then next life we come back. We find ourselves in Kusang and forget everything. But bhakti is like, bhakti is like eating food. But when you're hungry, right? I'm hungry. I have not had one fellow stop by some house and knocked. He was hungry. Then he knocked on that door, and a kid came out. And he said, "Oh my God, please help me. I haven't had a bite in days." That kid said, "No problem," and the kid beat him. That is English language for you. I haven't had a bite in days. But if you are hungry like that, right? And you are South Indian, and somebody brings masala dosa with coconut chutney and tomato chutney also, and sambar. You get prayer more than Pramod will come just now. But see what happens when we eat. That same time, because I am South Indian and I get South Indian food, we say, We get joy while eating. The joy doesn't come the next day, While eating itself, that joy comes that time. Correct or not? Then, the moment that dosa reaches your belly, that time only, all your hunger. So I eat today and my hunger goes tomorrow. Does it happen? Or 1 hour later? No. Then also, I was feeling weak, Within moments of that feeling weak from hunger, I feel Arey, when I see dosa only, I feel lively. What to talk about eat? You see? So, this is bhakti. Gyan, you eat today and your belly gets filled tomorrow. You see, there's a big difference between this thing. So, sukha mula, means the sadhana sadhya in bhakti is one and same. And while engaging in bhakti itself, while expressing my love for Bhagavan Sri Ram, that time itself I feel joy of expressing that love. It is not some other time and all that. You see, this is the difference. Here Bhagavan Sri Ram is trying to make, and throughout this Ramcharitmanasa, this is all the way down to Uttarakhand, the same thing will come again. This is the bhakti which has immediate result. The goal and the means is one and same. That is the idea. So sutantra valambana ana teyadhina jnana vijnana bhagati tat anupama sukhamula. Anupama means incomparable. Nothing can compare to bhakti. Incomparable. Bhagati tat anupama sukhamula. And the very root of all joy. It brings joy immediately. You see, when we study some Upanishadic principle, that thing, I told you, it brings confusion first. Then long after, when we really get, oh, I got it, then that only eureka comes. Eureka comes way down. Maybe next lifetime also. So the joy comes that time. But it's bhakti. You see now. Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama 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 Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama Hare Rama 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 Sita Rama 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 Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. 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 Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. See, singing the Lord's name, singing the glories of God, one gets joy that time itself. And this is bhakti, and that is not dependent on some other thing, you see, some extraneous, external thing. This is the idea. It brings joy that time. Sukha mula milai jo sant hoi anukula. This is also very nice. See, just now, I started this whole thing today by telling that if we don't have the company of good people, this thing is not possible. Because there's one more thing to be said about this. Please see. If a human being is left to the elements, please see. If a human being is left to the elements, in all likelihood, the human being is going to turn out to be animalistic in orientation rather than humanistic. That is the true thing. Left unparented, left unguided, left untaught, left unsanskarized, that human being will turn out to be animal only. Because it is much easier to engage in something evil than to engage in something good. See, there's an apple there. It belongs to that other person. So, to work and get money and buy the apple from the other person is much more difficult than stealing the apple. The evil thing is much easier. So he steal it, and when that fellow is not looking, take it and go. So left untaught, left unguided, untrained, and all such things, the human being will immediately or quickly gravitate towards all the evil things. That is why it's so important to have to guide children from young age. That's why our Bal Vihar is so important and all, you see. So now, when that person is able to find himself in satsang, or somebody introduces him to satsang, or he keeps himself in satsang, the company of good people, then what happens? His all sanskar of previous lives, they awaken. All his devotion, all his practices, and all things that he has engaged. This is one more reason why it is not good to write off anybody. Everybody has a chance. Everybody has an opportunity again to leave adharma and come back to dharma. It is not good for this reason, because in his sanchita karma also, he has all good sanskar of previous births. That just was not awakened. This is the rationale for teaching also. Otherwise, people have arguments, no, he came with his karmas, His karma is like that, nobody could do anything. Then why you teach? Why we teach? Why all traditions are engaged in teaching? If his karmas are like that, he'll turn out like that. Then teaching has no rationale. You see? So, he finds himself or he's introduced by his parents or by somebody to satsang. And in satsang, when the saint or the sadhu keeps him in that environment. See, santa hoi anukula. Santa hoi anukula means when they become favorable. He encourages, engages that person in that satsang. His own sanskar of previous births are awakened. And his love for the Lord, which he has practiced in so many previous births. Like a Kar Bushundi in Uttarakhand, you'll see, if you go there, so many births of love for Bhagavan Ram. Love for Bhagavan Shiva. Like that. So that is awakened. In the company of saints. That is the idea. Bhakti ki sadhan kahu bakhani. This bhakti sadhana, I am going to now tell. Bhakti sadhana. Sugama Panth. It is easy also. Sugama Panth means this bhakti marg is easy. Gyan marg? Tough. That is the idea. In the Kathopanishad, it is described like a razor's edge, Okay, in Ramcharan, Tulsidas also describes same thing. Tulsidas was a great scholar of Upanishads and Gita and everything. So he describes it. So he says, this bhakti marga sugama panta mohi pavahi prani, by which that devotee can reach me. See, look here. Gyan Marg and Bhakti Marg are usually described, or an example is used to show the difference between two of them. One is called as Markatavat, and the other is called as Bidalavat. Bidalavat means like a cat. Markatavat means like a monkey. What monkey and cat and all know this thing. So if you see, those of you who have come from India, or those of you here in Trinidad, if you come, you have not seen this. You have to go to India only to see. There are so many monkeys everywhere. And if you see that baby monkey, that baby is always grabbing on to the underbelly of the mother. And the mother is jumping from tree to tree. But the baby is grabbing onto the underbelly of that mother. If he doesn't hold on, and that mother is jumping in mid-air and he lets go, gone. He'll die. So he has to hold on for his dear life. That is a Markatavat. Bidalavat, like that cat. That little kitten, he only has to stay there and he bends his head like that. And then he goes meow and he does nothing. And that mother comes there and takes him by the neck and carries him everywhere. He just has to surrender. Surrender means sar under. He has to put his head under. He surrender only and the mother takes care. So he does nothing, he surrenders to Bhagavan, Bhagavan takes care. And the monkey, he has to hold on with his own strength and power. If he doesn't hold, he'll die. So that is called Jnani, that monkey. And there is a cat, Bhakta. Meow. So it's a Sugama Panth. Easy. Surrender to Bhagavan. And Mohi Pavai Prani. And that Prani means Jiva. He reaches me through this bhakti. No. Just now Bhagavan said, I'm going to describe this bhakti. So he'll describe his bhakti tomorrow. We'll see.